The Champions League knockout stage is upon us with some of the best players in the world. But which players should you keep an eye out for in the competition this season? When Alphonso Davies signed for Bayern Munich, it was a transfer to be excited about. In his last season for Vancouver Whitecaps, he scored 8 and assisted 10 in the MLS, playing as a left winger. Last season, he didn't play too much, however this season's been a different story. He switched to playing as a left back, as it's known now fullbacks are playing a huge part in the attacking play, and Davies is the perfect fit for this position. As he's previously been a winger, you'd expect the defensive side of his game to be lacking, but in the Bundesliga he's getting 2.4 tackles per game and 1.1 interceptions per game. With him being given the freedom to push up the pitch, it's seen him pick up 3 assists along with 1 goal. And being a natural winger, he has great dribbling technique. In the Bundesliga, 3 dribbles per game, and in the Champions League, 4.3 dribbles per game. There's multiple clips of him this season with some insane sprints. His pace is incredible. His assist versus Freiburg is a great example. He only played in 3 out of 6 group stage games, but he's since found himself playing every single game for Bayern, so expect to see him in the lineup versus Chelsea. Dani Olmo has been a star at Dinamo Zagreb for a few seasons now, growing as a player, playing in the Europa League and Champions League. And now that he's hit the age of 21 and gained some experience, RB Leipzig signed him in the January transfer window. In the Croatian First Division last season, the attacking midfielder picked up 8 goals and 3 assists, along with 2 goals and 4 assists in the Europa League. They were then able to qualify for the Champions League this season, where he got 2 goals and an assist. It may be a doubt that he starts the game versus Tottenham though. He's only just made his first start for Leipzig in their game versus Bayern Munich, although he has scored his first goal for the club in the DFB Cup in their 3-1 defeat to Frankfurt. Either way, he'll be involved at some point, starter or off the bench. He's one that could make a difference. Dortmund's right back slash midfielder Hakimi is on a 2-year loan from Real Madrid. He's now in his last few months of the loan, and his time there has been very successful. Surprisingly, he was Dortmund's top scorer in the Champions League group stages this season with 4 goals. Dortmund's only other goal scorers in the competition this season were Sancho and Brandt with 2 each. Like we said with Alphonso Davies, Hakimi is a very attacking player, but he is a player in a slightly different role to Davies. More often than not this season, Hakimi has been starting as a wide midfielder, not having to worry too much about tracking back because of that extra defensive cover. And his attacking intent shows in the amount of sprints he's made in the Bundesliga this season with 712, more than any other player and 103 more than the player in second, which happens to be his teammate Jadon Sancho. And by pushing up the field, he has the technique to beat his opponent, with 2.6 dribbles completed per game, ranking second in the team to Jadon Sancho. If they aren't able to sign him permanently, then they'll notice his absence from the team. Hakimi has made more touches of the ball than any other Dortmund player. With this being said, his defensive side isn't lacking. Out of Dortmund's players with over 1,000 minutes played in the Bundesliga, Hakimi is joint top for tackles made per game with 1.8, the same as Mats Hummels. All of this makes Hakimi a one to watch in the Champions League knockouts. But to be fair, it may be hard to miss him if you watch the Dortmund game. If Atletico Madrid are to stop Liverpool from winning back-to-back Champions League titles, then their defensive work will need to be on point. Attempting to do that in the midfield will be Saul Niguez. His performances this season have been top-notch both in La Liga and the Champions League too. 2.3 tackles per game in the league and the Champions League. He's a player who loves to get stuck in and win the ball back in the centre of the pitch. In their recent game versus Granada, he was the man of the match, making 3 tackles, winning 5 aerial duels, 2 interceptions and 10 blocks. There wasn't anyone on the pitch able to make more than 2 blocks, so Niguez did incredible in that department. He had the most touches out of any Atletico Madrid player, and in their midfield 3 he plays on the left, so it does mean that he's often picking up the ball in advanced areas. He completed a dribble on the left flank and attempted 2 in the box, however they were unsuccessful. But what this shows is that he is a box-to-box midfielder rather than an out-and-out defensive midfielder, such as Thomas Partey, who plays in the centre of the midfield 3, who could have easily been the one to watch instead of Niguez. However, I do believe Niguez has more to offer all over the pitch while being defensively strong. If Atalanta are to progress to the next round, I think their star striker Josip Ilicic is definitely one to watch. Against the odds, they qualified for the Champions League knockout stage, after not picking up any points in their first 3 group stage games. A draw against Man City and wins against Dinamo Zagreb and Shakhtar Donetsk, here they are about to face Valencia. He wasn't able to score in any of their group games, however in the league this season he's been phenomenal, scoring 14 goals in 19 Serie A matches. Whether he can transfer that goal scoring form into the Champions League is a different matter. 9 goals in his last 7 league matches is some great form. Be sure to keep an eye out for Ilicic because he may just be on the score sheet for Atalanta. At 19 19 years of age, you'd think Ferran Torres was still fairly new to the Valencia team. However, this is his third season at Valencia, and this season has been his most impressive so far. The right winger has been able to score 4 goals and get 4 assists in La Liga, and in the Champions League he got 1 goal and an assist to his name in 4 games. Maybe he can continue his contributions to goals in the game versus Atalanta. With 1.3 key passes per game and an impressive 2.8 dribbles per game, he's causing trouble for defences. And he did just that in the league game versus Barcelona a few weeks ago when he flicked the ball past Samuel Umtiti's head, cut inside with the ball, created a chance for Maxi Gomez, who finished to make it 2-0. A breakthrough season for Torres in terms of showing what he's capable of. The Champions League would be a great place to showcase more of that quality. Who are you excited to see in the Champions League knockout stages? Comment below a player's name and I'll reply with my thoughts. The Discord server is available to join. We're starting to grow a nice community over there, so come join us, link in description. I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.